couple of things that we want to see in your PowerPoint, as I mentioned just now. This is a basic, right now you are all looking at the basic structure. Okay, you need to have an introduction. What is in your introduction? Oh, do not miss your introduction, because that is the foundation that you have to build to tell us the problem, right? The problem, why is it a problem? Why should we see it as a problem, right? People might not think it's a problem, so you have to identify what's the problem, and you need to show really like it's a concrete issue that we need to fix, right? It's a concern that we need to. You are making a proposal, so that means think about this as you are going to propose a solution for an issue that is going to help many people. So you have to emphasize the issue, right? The issue, what's the issue? Let us see the issue. Let us feel concerned. Oh, we need to change. This is a problem. You have to make sure that we feel that way. That means when we listen to your introduction, and the body, the first part of the body, we know that this is an urgency that needed to be fixed. Okay, you have to persuade the audience to feel like, we all need to find a solution for this. The moment you get them hooked with your issue, you provide your solution, your proposal. All right, that's the magic. Okay, so this is the basic structure, right? Introduction. Let me see. I realized that people cannot see my cursor. I need to use this to see. So can you see my cursor, my laser? Can you? Okay. So the basic structure is, you start off with an introduction, right? Maybe first thing first, you will say, hi, we are from team 1, my name is da 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 da, my name is da 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 da, our title is da 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 da, and then you start off with your introduction. Okay, so this is now what you think, okay? But you can be very creative. So we will look at it later. Body, conclusion, right? You have your body, you have the proposal, right? You have a bit of elaboration on your problem. Then you conclude. The conclusion is very important. It's part of something that you need to drive certain change or action. It depends on how you conclude it. So first thing first, I want you all to prepare, if you don't have your note beside you, you don't have anything, make sure that you have a paper, and I want you to note what I say. Yes, don't just listen. They won't stay in your brain. Trust me, I also have to take notes. So yeah, so take notes, okay? First thing first, let's look at the elements in the sum of the elements that we like to see in your presentation. All right, some of the elements Ms. Jahan kind of spelled it out. There are things that you need to work on. These are part of things that are more specific, and you're able to address it also. So now, first of all, we have something called the captivating element. Okay, you have to provide captivating elements, that makes your audience want to listen to you. Okay, I want you to imagine, right? You're sitting in your presentation, video conference, everyone is lining up to present. There's Q&A, and you have to sit down and listen to this presentation. Do you want to listen to something interesting, engaging, or captivating, or do you want to see something like, I really just hope that they get it over soon? So which part or the column do you want to be? Left or right? Of course, you want to be captivating. You want to make your audience stay seated. I want to listen to you, right? And you need to be the one that you are the person who deliver that. So your content have to be structured in a way, and also your person have to be structured in a way to make sure that it's captivating. So think about that, right? Now, number 2, how well did the presenters conclude? You see how I mentioned that conclusion is not just like, oh, we are done with our presentation, bye-bye. No, conclusion have to do more. You are proposing something. It shouldn't be like, oh, this is our proposal. That's it, the end, bye-bye. No, okay? How well did the presenters conclude is a factor that you also look at, okay? So 3, now, your body, right? Present in ways that allow your audience to understand what you want to convey. You all have a lot of ideas with your issues. So you all really have a lot of knowledge about your idea, your issues, because you are first, maybe you are the person who experienced it the most, but you have to understand, maybe your classmates are not from the local educational environment. Okay, they might not have the same form of education with you, so they don't really understand what is SMK. They don't really understand what are the terms that you are very familiar with. So you have to identify what are the background knowledge you need to support. Okay, what are the things that you need to show, the introductory, the background information, to let people understand the problem that you are bringing. Okay, so always remember, audience might not have the same knowledge, same experience as you. Okay, so you always have to remember that, and you have to make sure your delivery, your content is catered to someone who might not understand or experience the same thing as you. Okay, so the next thing is, I don't know why I cannot go down. Okay, now, does the presenter understand his or her content well? When you present to me, right, are you like, are you like not sure about what you're presenting or not? Like your body language, the way you language out your thought, your content. Are you actually just word by word, just like one chunk by one chunk, and then I can see that you're memorizing, okay? Or I can see you looking at scripts. I can actually see, you look at left, go right, left, go right. No, so you have to train, because in a virtual environment you can do so many things, right? But you have to make sure that it's not visible. Okay, I'm not saying that you can't. That's why I do not encourage script, but I encourage notes. Um, and I encourage you to be really familiar with your content, meaning that you need to be. That's why we started off with what you concerned about, right? You are very excited about this issue. You have so many ideas, right? You can pull references out from your thoughts, but there are certain things you have to remember also. It's okay to actually have what we call presenters notes. Okay, you have like a note that you can refer to. If you really need to rely on a script, you have to train yourself so that I don't even know you're actually talking out from the script. So yeah, show me that you're confident with your content. I know my thing. I know my thing. If you look at presenters, okay, I'm going to share certain videos. Presenters who really know their content well, they don't rely on script, right? We hope by the extra time that you have, you are able to provide enough rehearsals and also because of your own knowledge, provide a better presentation, right? And you know what you are doing, you know the thing, especially the solution part, right? It's something that you actually create. So it's much easier for you all to explain. The problem also, I think it's something that is relevant to you, right? You all are working out from your own personal experience, but the data that you provide should be something digestible for your own self, right? You are supporting your claim. This is a problem, but what is the evidence that is showing that this is a problem? This is a problem that we all have to care. So the evidence might take some memory, the memory, that you have to recall, right? But it should be something that you can actually remember, okay? So it should be something that is easily digestible for you, that you don't have to rely too much on the script. Now, transitions in speech. Okay, there are two types of transitions, right? When you create a slide, from one slide to another slide, people can create like, the transition, right? One slide to another slide. So maybe they make it nicer, right? Okay, that is one. But when I say transition in speech, meaning how do you pass the floor to your member? Try to be creative, try to think out of the box. How do you want to pass it to your presenter? Okay, try to go away from I will pass my mic to Lim Kok Wing. I will pass my mic to President Obama. Okay, so think about like if you can craft something. For example, if the person is talking about certain idea, you can say, okay, now I already explained to you about XYZ. Now my member will actually tell you the solutions to XYZ. Okay, you provide a little bit of introduction and also conclude your own presentation. Okay, so are some of the techniques that you can use, right? There are many techniques. Questioning, like providing questions, it depends on the issue that you are delivering also. Okay? Now, interactions between presenters. Okay? So your transition in speech, right, also kind of related to your interaction between presenters, right? For example, for example, you say, "Hey, Lim Kok Wing, do you have like certain solutions for this problem?" Okay, but because you all actually create the solution, so you have to say, "Oh, okay. So can you be kind, to actually introduce the solution that we created?" Yeah, so something like that, right? So you are interacting not just with the audience, you are interacting with your own members too. So techniques. Now, engagement with the audience, which is the next thing, right? Engagement comes so many different ways. For example, you ask a question to your audience about an issue, right? You haven't even started your topic yet. You just ask, do you know about the incident in May 2020? About this guy, da 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 da. And then people like, oh yes, I know. Okay, engagement number one. You provide simple questions that they can answer. Okay, engagement. Second type of engagement can come in many different ways. For example, how engaged the content that you're delivering, are they engaging? Are they captivating? So that is a second part of engagement. Okay. Now, and the slides. Are the slides engaging? Clear, simple, structured logically, and telling you, and it's actually in sync with the presenter, right? So, last, visual, visual, right? Your PPT slides. So, how are you structuring your content on the PPT slides? That is actually logically structured. Okay, you start with the background knowledge. You start with the background, okay, the problem, the issue, and then you're making connection as you go. It's logically structured, like how you write an essay, right? You have to start with what? You start with the introduction, then you move on to different main reasons and how they are actually structured. So think about how your visuals, will provide that sort of understanding, right? You say something and you're providing that visual for them to comprehend and digest your information. Okay, so visual, I also uploaded a picture on my Moodle about visual. A lot of times students love to paste a lot of content. For example, the whole paragraph, the whole paragraph on the slides, this is a big no. No. But presentation is not a report writing. Presentations should come with bullet form, descriptions, like short descriptions, and supporting visuals like statistics, like picture that is relevant, okay, to show the current scenarios of that problem. Okay, if you are saying there are a lot of masks right now being thrown outside, being littered, okay, so you show like a picture, the seriousness of how mask is being littered around, okay, and when you are talking about the issue. So that is also one way, right? Your visuals have to be relevant. Miss Chan also emphasized no animations, right? You don't reduce your reliance on animations. The reason why we say no animation is because it's very distractive. They move, they go around, and then people stop listening to you. Okay? So if people stop listening to you, it's defeating the purpose of you being there anymore. So you want to make sure that your visuals are there to support your presentation, okay? Not just cute and nice, and just for pretty, just for beautiful purposes, okay? You have to make sure that it's pretty, okay? Your whole slides are pretty, but at the same time, the most important thing that your audience will see is the content that you are relaying. That is the most important thing, right? If you suddenly when you talk about your presentation, a dog run around the, the presentation slides, right? Straight away everybody will look at the dog. Then they don't they don't really listen to you already. For example, sometimes you love to use meme. you look, I don't know how, I think I butchered that, meme, I think, yeah, meme, or you use certain gifs. These things can be very distractive. So you want to make sure you use something relevant. Okay, the keyword here is relevant. It goes along to your presentation. If I say a dog is being petted, or you can actually create a visual that shows that it's being petted, or you show, for example, according to a news, you can show the newspaper clipping. Okay, so these are the things that goes into the visuals, relevant information that support your presentation. Okay, so these are the elements. Okay, I know you cannot write everything, but that's why I also allow you to chat also the screenshot method also. So yeah, so yeah, take a screenshot if you want. Okay, definitely go ahead, and I will move on to the next slide in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, so I'm using like this really interesting thing. So that moment when someone has a great attention getter and uses transitions, okay? So, Spider-Man, right? Okay. This can be very distracting because, right now you see, when I put a picture, right, the moment, right, you all will look at the picture, look at yourself, look at your responses, and you will expect the same thing that your audience will do. So it's very natural to use visuals, but make sure the moment they see it, right, they don't have to put their focus to look at the words. For example, they have to like, oh, that moment when someone has a great attention getter, and then you are still talking. So you have to make sure that they just have to look 1 second, then they know already. 2 seconds, 3 seconds. No need to think too much. No need to actually stay on the visual longer than that. They go back to looking at you. What you're talking about, right? So now using attention getter and transitions are important. What does it mean, attention getter? Okay. Now, attention getter starts before your introduction. Okay. Okay. So attention getter is something that you start off with that really gets your whole audience to put their focus and attention to you. The moment they look at this attention getter, they will follow you. They will look at you, and then they will continue to listen. It has to have that kind of power, okay, to make sure that why do I slash hook? Because we do call them hooks. Hooks is meaning the audience, their eyes and their ears are just, locked towards this presentation. They are not going to be distracted by anything else. They are looking at you, they are listening to you. So we call that the attention getter. For example, right, attention getter happens everywhere. In advertisement, whenever you walk, right, maybe sometimes you don't even care, but suddenly you saw something that hooked you, you just pause, right, the whole moment, you just like stop, and then you just like watch that advertisement. You don't even want to budge. That is called the attention getter. The moment they grab your attention. So attention getter is a lot of ways. There's no definite ways to actually create the attention getter. And attention getter can come before you introduce the topic. It will be very interesting how you want to put it. I always ask my students, if you have something creative and it's okay and you actually fulfill the thing, go for it also. For example, I can choose not to introduce my teammates first. I can just, hi, good morning. How are you guys? Right? Um, so first of all, do you remember? And then after I discuss the issue, I provide like a sort of news, and then we got a little bit engagement. I'm not going to do a lot more time because I only have 15 minutes. But the moment I got some responses, done. I go to the next slide. Hi, good. Oh, thank you so much for responding to my inquiries. Welcome to our presentation. My name is Lemuel. My name is Kelly. Okay. We are going to present on this particular topic, which is the issue that we want to present. See how you can go? There are so many ways, so many ways. So you can be creative, just ask me, can we do that? Can I do that? Yeah. So, and I have some tips here about attention getter. Okay. I think it's 4:15. I will just take another, couple of minutes to wrap this up. I'm going to say there are couple of ways to begin your speech or presentation. These are ideas that you can use, okay? Now, memorable and relevant quotes. Two, these are just like, you can use one of them or you can use two of them. It depends on your issue. What if scenario? What if scenario? You get your audience to start thinking. You give them a scenario to actually ponder. What will you feel when you're in a dark room? Can you close your eyes? Right? Can you think about how do these people feel when they are actually they captured by some invaders or kidnappers, and then they are locked in this, just imagine, you guys are right now eating with your best friend. Suddenly a bunch of gangsters pull you into the lorry and what do you feel? What if scenario? And imagine scenario, same thing around, like imagine, okay, what's the question? Okay, a question that matters to the audience. Okay, there's a notification. Okay, a question that matters to the audience. Pose a question. Ask them a question. Okay, now silence. Ooh. Silence is a very skillful thing. How do you start silence but not make it awkward? So if you are very confident with silence, go ahead. Silence can come in different forms. A significant statistics, okay? This is very, a significant statistic, you can start with that also, right? And then lastly, a powerful statement or phrase. Remember last time when Nelson Mandela talked about his speech, right? And then, so you can have a spark, or for example, you have a very strong quote, right? You can bring in, and then you let the audience ponder a bit. Okay, all these things, my dear, all these things is not irrelevant to your topic. Okay, don't do that. It's not the purpose of attention getter, the hook, should not be something just randomly, you just put a TikTok, just to make sure they see your presentation. Don't do that. It have to be relevant to your topic, okay? Okay, don't just give me like kitty cat, then they come out and then they just hook the audience, then you say you done that already. No. You have to be very relevant to your topic, okay? You have to show it is like introduction. Okay, this is the hook that introduce your topic. So think of it in that sense that it's related to the issue that you are going to introduce to your audience. All right. So I'm going to tell you a story next time about silence. It's very interesting because I started like a presentation with silence. That was very interesting. But because I had the ability, because maybe I'm a teacher, so when I silence off myself and I just stopped doing anything, the whole class just stopped doing anything. So that's a very powerful tool, but it's very interesting. It's very interesting. But yes, but you have to have that aura, right? And then how are you going to build that, So yeah, all right. So take a screenshot also if you want, right? Okay. So I'm going to show, or do you maybe sorry, okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so this is also something that you can see, right? The whole thing, right? Attention getter, then there are transitions in between. How are you going to transition? It depends on how are you structuring your content also. So just remember what today I bring up to you, okay? So that you want to integrate those elements into your presentation. All right, today is 4:19. Thank you for staying with me an extra 4 minutes. I hope my presentation has been captivating. You see how I use body language, tone, a lot of things to actually try to engage with you. So use me as some examples also, okay? But go with what you think. So some people might not be as bubbly as I am, but they can captivate the audience. It's very different. So use your strength, okay?